Maya sat beneath the ancient banyan tree, her heart heavy with sorrow and exhaustion. The forest was quiet, serene. The Buddha, robed in saffron, approached slowly, his presence radiating a profound calmness. His eyes met hers, deeply compassionate. "Blessed One," Maya began, her voice faltering, "I am drowning under the weight of my responsibilities. My strength is spent." The Buddha lowered himself onto the grass, the earth welcoming him as he became a part of its stillness. "Maya," he began, his voice soothing like a gentle stream, "tell me, what burdens press so heavily upon your soul?" She clasped her hands tightly, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I tend to the sick, the aged, the suffering. They depend on me for everything," she continued, her voice a whisper. "Yet I feel my spirit fading away." The Buddha nodded, his gaze unwavering. "When you carry water in a pot, does it feel heavy at first?" Maya looked up, puzzled by his question. "No, Master," she replied, "but over time, even a light pot feels unbearable." The Buddha smiled gently. "Precisely, Maya. This is the nature of burdens. They grow heavier the longer we hold them." He reached for a small clay pot by his side, its surface smooth and unadorned. "Observe this pot," he instructed, raising it with one hand. He said, "If I were to hold this all day, my arm would tire." The disciples gathered nearby, their eyes fixed on the simple yet profound gesture. "Time cannot be divided," he said. "Only intention matters. Even for a moment, it lightens the load." Maya's eyes followed the pot as it rested on the ground. Her breathing seemed to slow, her tension softening. "Burdens of the heart, Maya, are no different," the Buddha explained. "They must be set down, even briefly." "But how, Master?" she asked, desperation clinging to her words. The Buddha then shared a story, a tale of a farmer and his son. Their life was one of labor. Setting down does not mean forsaking. "Maya," he pointed to a nearby stream, its water flowing ceaselessly over smooth stones. "Do you see how the stream flows? It nourishes the land, yet it does not cease its journey to rest. Its rhythm sustains its purpose," he said. Maya stared at the stream, its gentle murmurs weaving into her thoughts. She felt an unfamiliar sense of clarity. "Master, are you saying I should rest as the stream does, to restore my strength?" she asked hesitantly. "Yes, Maya," the Buddha affirmed. "Rest is not abandonment. It is the renewal of your capacity to give wholeheartedly." "But how do I find rest amidst so much need?" she questioned, her hands trembling in her lap. The Buddha closed his eyes momentarily, drawing in a deep breath. "Begin with mindfulness, Maya," he said softly. "When you sit, know you are sitting. When you breathe, know you are breathing. Be present in each moment." Maya repeated his words inwardly, as though etching them onto her soul. The simplicity of his guidance resonated deeply. "You cannot pour from an empty vessel, Maya," the Buddha continued. "Care for your spirit as you care for others." The wind rustled through the banyan leaves, carrying the Buddha's words like a song through the tranquil forest. Maya's heart felt lighter, as though a shadow had lifted. She bowed deeply before the Buddha, her forehead touching earth. "Thank you, Blessed One," she said, her voice steadier now. "Master," I said, my voice steadier now. "Your teachings are a beacon. I will strive to live with presence and love." "Go forth, Maya. Let your compassion flow freely, renewed by moments of stillness." Maya rose, the weight on her shoulders replaced by a newfound resolve. The path ahead seemed clearer, less daunting. The disciples watched silently as Maya walked away, her steps carrying the wisdom of the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha turned to the gathered disciples. "Let this be a lesson to all," he said. "Compassion begins with self-awareness. We cannot serve others truly if we neglect the vessel through which our compassion flows," he concluded, his voice firm, The disciples nodded, their hearts stirred by the simplicity and depth of his words. The forest embraced the stillness. Maya returned to her duties, her spirit nourished by the Buddha's guidance. She found moments to breathe, to be. In these moments, she discovered not weakness, but strength, not selfishness, but the essence of true compassion. The Buddha watched from afar, his serene smile a testament to the transformative power of understanding and balance. Another day. Another gathering beneath the banyan tree. The seeker's eyes filled with tears, his guilt evident in every word. But I fear they feel my absence deeply. He stepped forward, his hands trembling slightly as he bowed. Blessed One, Ananda began, his words faltering. I give to others endlessly, yet my heart feels empty. I am not fulfilled. The Buddha watched him with gentle eyes, his presence calm like the ripples of a pond untouched by restless winds. Ananda, the Buddha said, his voice steady, tell me, when you pour water into a cracked bowl, does it hold? Ananda frowned in thought, his mind reflecting on the simplicity yet depth of the question. No, Master, he replied softly. A cracked bowl cannot retain water. Similarly, a heart driven by selfish desire cannot hold the joy of giving, said the Buddha. The disciples gathered closer, their curiosity deepening as the Buddha reached for an empty bowl resting on the grass beside him. This bowl, he began, lifting it gently, represents the state of one's heart. Observe what happens when it remains whole. He poured water into the bowl. The flow smooth, uninterrupted. The disciples watched the bowl fill without spilling even a drop. When your intentions are pure and your soul whole, each act of giving nourishes you as much as it nourishes others. Fear arises from doubt, not the absence of love. He then recounted the tale of a bird that nested far from its mate, yet returned with food for its young. Begin with the practice of sitting with yourself, he advised. Observe your thoughts, desires, emotions. Do not judge them, but know them as you would know the seasons of the earth. Ananda nodded slowly, though his understanding remained nascent. The Buddha continued, his voice as patient as flowing water. In silence, you will find the cracks within your soul. Through awareness, you will understand their nature and learn their repair. But Master, Ananda questioned, his voice trembling, is awareness enough? Does the crack not require something to bind it together? The Buddha smiled faintly, his presence gentle yet firm. Compassion and self-acceptance are the binding agents, Ananda. They mend the deepest fractures. He motioned toward a nearby tree, its bark scarred yet vibrant with life. See how the tree flourishes despite its imperfections. The disciples turned to the tree, their eyes tracing the contours of its scars. Its branches laden with lush, green leaves. The tree does not resist its scars. The forest hummed with life, the sunlight filtering through the leaves, carrying the Buddha's words into the depths of his soul. The seeker left, determined to embody the wisdom he had received, to nurture his family through presence and mindful intention. But Master, he asked again, if the act of giving stems from a fractured soul, is it harmful to those who receive? The Buddha shook his head gently, his voice unwavering. The act of giving, even imperfectly, is never harmful, yet it may leave you empty. When you give without internal abundance, your bowl remains cracked, and its emptiness cannot nourish those who depend upon it. Ananda sat quietly, his hands resting on his knees, his mind a battlefield of reflection and nascent understanding. To repair your bowl, Ananda, the Buddha continued, you must first give to yourself. Fill your soul with compassion toward your own being. Master, is this not selfishness? Ananda asked hesitantly, his voice tinged with uncertainty and lingering guilt. His gaze met theirs, tender yet profound, as if he could see into the depths of their shared journey. Your lives, the Buddha continued, are the mud from which the lotus of your family has risen. It is the root of all giving. You cannot give water to others when your own spring runs dry. To give freely, you must first nourish yourself, he said. The disciples murmured softly, their understanding blossoming like buds opening to the morning sun. The Buddha's eyes held the wisdom of countless lifetimes. Legacy, he said, is not measured by monuments but by the seeds we sow. Ananda, balance is the key. Walk the middle path, where kindness for oneself and others flows like a steady stream. Do not neglect your needs, nor overindulge in them. Find the rhythm that allows you to serve without self-sacrifice, he advised. Master, she asked, how do we find meaning in the fleeting nature of life? In moments lost to time? Impermanence, the Buddha said, his voice like a flowing river, is life's gift. It urges us to cherish each precious moment. Go forth, Ananda, begin this journey within yourself. Seek mindfulness in each breath, compassion in each thought, balance in each action. Your bowl will mend with time and care. The disciples watched as Ananda rose, his face reflective yet lighter, the shadows of doubt retreating from his gaze. The forest echoed softly with the murmur of the wind, the rustling of leaves, the gentle rhythm of life's endless flow. Regret and fear, he said, are shadows of attachment. Let go, he urged, of the belief that you must control life's flow. Let this be a reminder, he said, our giving must flow from inner abundance. To nourish others, we must first nourish ourselves, or the spring will run dry. The disciples nodded, their hearts stirred by the simplicity and depth of his words. The forest embraced the stillness. Ananda returned to his duties, his spirit renewed by the Buddha's guidance. He found moments of silence to mend his bowl. In these moments, he discovered not selfishness, but the essence of true balance. Not indulgence, but the roots of genuine giving. The Buddha watched from afar, his serene smile a testament to the transformative power of understanding and inner abundance. Another day, another moment beneath the shelter of the ancient banyan tree. The disciples gathered in silence, seeking wisdom. Among them was Sita, her eyes shadowed with despair, her shoulders weighed down by an invisible burden. She stepped forward hesitantly. Master, Sita began, her voice trembling, I give my all to others, yet their suffering feels endless. I am drowning. The Buddha turned his gentle gaze toward her, his presence a beacon of calm amidst the turbulence of her sorrow. Sita, the Buddha said, his voice steady and compassionate, tell me, what is the source of your sorrow and despair? Sita lowered her head, tears slipping quietly onto the earth beneath her feet. Master, suffering surrounds me, and I cannot escape. The Buddha rose slowly, motioning toward the lotus pond nearby. The disciples followed, their footsteps quiet on the forest floor. Begin by observing your emotions, he said. Acknowledge them without judgment, for they are transient, like waves upon the shore. Master, it is beautiful. The Buddha nodded, his expression serene. Indeed, Sita, the lotus remains unstained, yet its roots draw strength from the mud. Sita frowned slightly, unsure of his meaning. Master, are you saying that suffering can be a source of strength? She asked softly. Yes, Sita, the Buddha affirmed. Suffering is like mud. It is unpleasant, yet it can nourish the seeds of growth. But Master, Sita questioned hesitantly, how do I rise above suffering without becoming consumed by its endless weight? The Buddha's gaze turned thoughtful, his voice as steady as the earth beneath their feet. Begin with mindfulness. Sita, he said, to embrace suffering is not to accept defeat, but to transform it into fertile ground for compassion and understanding, he explained. Sita lowered herself beside the pond, the ripples reflecting the deep ache in her heart. Master, how do I embrace it? The Buddha reached for a stone nearby, its surface smooth yet marked by the passage of time. He held it gently. Like this stone, he began, suffering carries weight. If you resist it, the weight will sink you deeper into despair. He then placed the stone in the water, watching as it sank slowly to the pond's floor. See how resistance pulls downward, but if you allow suffering to flow through you, without clinging to it, you remain like the lotus, untouched, he said. Sita watched the ripples fade into stillness, the metaphor gently sinking into her thoughts. Her breathing slowed, her tension softening. But Master, she asked, her voice uncertain, how do I allow suffering to flow without losing myself in its current? The Buddha's smile deepened, his compassion unwavering. Begin with the practice of observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, he advised. Accept them as they arise, like clouds passing through the sky. This acceptance frees you from their grasp, he explained patiently. Sita nodded slowly, her understanding blossoming though nascent. The Buddha continued, his voice a calm and steady stream of wisdom. Within suffering lies the seed of transformation. Through mindfulness and compassion, you cultivate that seed into wisdom and unshakable inner peace. But Master, Sita asked hesitantly, what if the suffering is too great to bear? How do I endure its overwhelming presence? The Buddha motioned toward the lotus, its petals radiant despite the murky water below. The lotus endures by remaining rooted. Root yourself in the present moment. Sita, let your awareness anchor you amidst the currents of sorrow and despair, he said. Sita bowed deeply, her forehead brushing the earth, her gratitude spilling forth like water from an overflowing spring. The disciples watched silently as the Buddha placed a hand on Sita's shoulder, his touch light yet grounding. Go forth, Sita, the Buddha said gently. Carry this wisdom within you and rise above suffering. Like the lotus untouched by mud, Sita rose, her spirit lighter, her gaze steady. The path ahead seemed clearer, the weight of despair less consuming. The disciples murmured softly, their reflections weaving together with the Buddha's teachings. The forest embraced the stillness. Sita returned to her duties, her spirit nourished by the Buddha's guidance. She found moments to breathe, to observe, to grow. In these moments, she discovered not defeat, but resilience, not despair, but the strength to rise above and transform. The Buddha watched from afar, his serene smile a testament to the transformative power of acceptance and mindfulness. The monastery stood as a sanctuary of wisdom, its walls echoing with the teachings of Buddha. The ripples of his guidance extended far beyond its boundaries, shaping lives like Jaya's in profound and lasting ways. As they reached the peak, the wind embraced them, carrying whispers from the valleys below. Buddha stood at the center, his presence commanding yet serene.